Hi, I'm Lynn Morgan, your Slippery Shod pastor, and I'm speaking to you again from the site of the conference on homiletics that I'm attending this week. And it is, of course, my home study. It's been a great conference, really, all things taken together. Like all conferences, there's an uneven mix of speakers, some better than the others. I've heard some great lectures and several really fine sermons. But I'm sad to report to you that these great sermons that I've heard, none of them are really appropriate for stealing. I mean, for inspiration to use in sermons that I could share with you. So you're still stuck with whatever it is that I come up with, unless somebody comes in at the last minute with something worth stealing, being inspired by. This conference, as I said, has been very much like every other conference I've ever attended. There is one significant difference, though. There has been no late-night carousing, because my roommate at this conference will have none of it. Sandy is a wonderful person, loving, forgiving, compassionate, tolerant of all kinds of faults. You know she has to be because you know me. But that's not to say she's never been mad at me. I like to think that in my preaching, I talk about God's love and God's forgiveness more than any other topic because I think that's the most important thing for us to know. But that doesn't mean that God cannot be angry with us. If those of you who are parents know this is true, that you can love your children with a fiery, everlasting love and still be really angry with them because they fail to live up to their best selves. And the scriptures, especially the Hebrew scriptures, they don't flinch from talking about the anger of God. Today, Psalm 85 refers to just this sort of thing. Let me read a few verses for you. Lord, you were favorable to your land. You restored the fortunes of Jacob. You forgave the iniquity of your people. You pardoned all their sin. You withdrew all your wrath. You turned from your hot anger. Restore us again, O God of our salvation, and put away your indignation toward us. Will you be angry with us forever? Will you prolong your anger to all generations? Will you not revive us again, so that your people may rejoice in you? God's anger is something that we don't think of or talk about an awful lot in our church. And I'm not going to start thinking about it and talking about it an awful lot, because it can easily give way to all kinds of judgmentalism. But I think about it in terms of our human relationships. As I said, we're parents and we know what it is to be angry with our children while we love them, because we love them. We're in, a lot of us, relationships with spouses and significant others. And we know that there can be anger between people who are absolutely passionately in love with one another. And that anger is in fact a valuable thing. The anger says, you have trespassed a line. You've broken a boundary. You've done harm. And it's time for you to make a change. And so when we think of God's anger, when God feels distant and far from us because we have been careless in our relationship with God, those feelings and that awareness that God is not pleased with all of our behavior might be for us a goad, a prod, a lure, in fact, to get back to a place where there can be restoration in the relationship and where God's people can turn to rejoicing again.